Chapter 7. Knightley. Noah is late. As usual. I study the menu while I wait, trying to hide from the redhead sitting a couple of tables away. From the booth where I'm sitting, I can see the door, and I saw her enter with her friends. I think her name is Kira. She sits down with her back to me, and I almost sigh in relief, thinking I got away without her noticing me. Then her friend points at me. Her head swivels around just as Emma walks through the door. Kira smiles and stands. She's dressed in a pair of tight jeans and a short sweater that shows off a sliver of skin when she raises her arms. I groan as she takes aim for me. "Max," she coos and stands at the end of the table. I hate it when they do that. Use my name as if it's a weapon. As if it makes them special that they figured out my first name when everyone always calls me by my last. Kira. I nod at her. Emma is raising an eyebrow as she comes closer. There's an evil smile playing on her lips, and I glare at her. I can't tell if she wants to leave me to my fate, or if she thinks she'll be interrupting if she joins us. "I had a fantastic time the other night," Kira purrs. "It was fun," I say. Emma has made up her mind, and silently slides into the opposite seat. Kira gives her a death stare before deciding to stand her ground. She turns her back as much as she can to Emma. "We should do it again." I clear my throat, and my eyes flicker to Emma. She's not even hiding her interest in the conversation. Instead, she seems to be making herself more comfortable, as if she's enjoying the show. "We agreed it was a one-time thing," I say. "But it was so good." She smiles broadly and reaches out a hand to run a finger along my arm. Her voice turns seductive. "I'm sure you noticed how well our bodies work together." I hadn't. It had been fine. It's always fine. And I always make sure the woman finishes at least once. The fact that so many of them have this reaction makes me think ill of the men at uni. I don't double dip. It's a vulgar expression, but I've learned that it keeps most of the women from chasing me too hard. It's not until I've said it I realize Emma also heard it this time. Her eyebrows shoot up. "It's a bit late for that," Kira says with a forced giggle. "One night only." That's what we both agreed to. Emma is going to tease me so hard for this. I can already see her mind working to come up with insults. Finally, Kira seems to get it. She huffs loudly, then she glowers at Emma. "So what's she?" "The new flavor for tonight." Emma just grins. "Oh, I haven't been dipped yet." The word "yet" has my cock twitching, and I immediately push away any unbidden thoughts. Kira looks her up and down as if she's a pile of trash. But Emma just sits there and smiles at her. Too amused with the whole situation to be offended. Kira flutters her eyelashes at me. "You should call me when you want someone who's fun in bed again. Or out of it." With exaggerated ass movements, she walks back to her friends. "What was that about?" Emma laughs. I shrug. "Nothing." She looks after Kira. "I guess she really wants you to know she's fun." She gives me a meaningful look and wiggles her eyebrows. "And she will do it anywhere." I roll my eyes and check my phone. Just shut up and order. Noah texted he might not make it. He's not coming. He wasn't sure. Why? She bites her bottom lip. So, she leans in closer and I can tell she wants something. "Since my dear brother invited me." I sigh and pretend to be annoyed at her as she flutters her lashes at me. "I'll pay." "Thank you." She picks up her menu. "For real, I forgot my wallet this morning." Go wild. I know she won't. She's the only person I've ever met who can stop after one slice of pizza. But she never begrudges anyone for eating more. She'll make a great nutritionist. Once our orders are in and we're sipping on our drinks, I rack my brain for something to talk about. "I think Blue might ask Hannah out," I say finally. I might be breaking the bro code by talking about it, but he said he would do it today, and I'm sure Hannah will tell her about it anyway. "He already did," she says and cranes her neck to see where our food is. I think she was almost contemplating accepting it. She turned him down. I blink at her. Yeah, she seems surprised at my question. Can you even imagine them together? Hannah is so delicate. And he seems like her total opposite. They were getting along just fine at the gym. She shrugs. Maybe. But I don't think it would work in the long run. I squint at her. You're up to something. It hits me. Please don't tell me you're planning on setting up Hannah with Edwin. So what if I do? She shrugs. Our food arrives and we wait until we're alone again. I've opted for a chicken pot pie while Emma has country fried steak and French fries. It'll never work. They're too different. I say and dig in. You don't know that. Besides, they have the same major. It takes more than the same major for a relationship to work. You're not doing this just to win the bet, are you? She tilts her head to one side. I think I can afford to lose $1. Good, because you will. You don't know that. You don't even know Hannah. I'm sure of it. How sure? Her eyes have narrowed, and they're pulling me in. Very sure. You want to up the bet? $2. I ask, and warmth spreads inside me as I see the smile she tries to hide. How about, if I win, you have to date the same woman for a month? Before sleeping with her? No. Not a month. A week. She rolls her eyes. 2 weeks. You won't win. She leans in closer. Then make it a month. Her voice is soft and challenging. Fine. And if I win, what do I get? She thinks for a while. I'll clean your room. My room is already clean. Her eyes move to the food in front of her. I'll buy you dinner. I ignore the flutter in my stomach. Fine, but it has to be somewhere nice. And you have to bring me flowers, like a proper date. Fine? She laughs a little and we shake hands, sealing the deal. As we return to the food, Noah appears and sits down next to Emma. She pulls her plate with her as she moves further into the booth. She turned me down, Noah complains and rests both his hands on the table. So there are smart women at uni, Emma says without missing a beat. He snags a fry from her plate and she smacks his hand. Hey, order your own food. We eat while Noah orders a burger and complains about striking out with a woman he met at the bookstore. What were you doing at the bookstore? Emma asks. I have classes, you know, Noah retorts. Emma just stares at him. Fine, I went in to use the bathroom. She shakes her head and keeps eating, valiantly defending her fries from Noah. You know how you're my favorite brother, she asks suddenly. I'm your only brother. Noah's eyes narrow. And you won't even let your starving brother have a single French fry. Something's bothering her, and I slow my eating as I wait to hear what it is. Well, anyway. I need a favor. What kind? I need a place to stay just until I find my own place. The server places a plate in front of Noah and smiles at him, but his attention is on Emma. What's wrong with your place? I thought you were staying put. I was, but Anne-Marie's uncle is raising the rent, and I can't afford it. Can he do that? I ask. Emma shrugs. We didn't really have a formal agreement. I groan. Emma. You have to get these things in writing. Her cheeks get the faintest hint of pink. I know, but I just paid my share to Anne-Marie, and she took care of it. You should move in with Knightley, Noah says, and lights up. Yeah, that's perfect. He's been looking for a roommate, and now you need a room. I freeze. As he speaks, I can feel a slow, deep cold pierce every part of me, solidly freezing me in place. Is that true? Emma asks and looks at me with her large blue eyes. Are you looking for a roommate? What can I say? I was, but I'm not sure if this is a great idea. But if you need a roommate. I don't need a roommate. The words are harsher than I intended. Oh, give it up, Noah says. You have a room. She needs one. And I do not want my sister cramping my style. Style, Emma huffs. You could at least try to play nice when I'm helping you. Noah glares at his sister. She sticks her tongue out. Is it a nice room? Emma asks, and I can feel the inevitable sliding closer. It's a very nice room, Noah says before I can answer. Why don't we ever hang out there then? Her eyes are so innocent when she looks at me. I shrug. I barely spend any time there. Then it's perfect. She claps her hands together. I'm not sure. Come on. I promise I won't interfere with your dipping. Dipping? Noah looks confused. His dates. I've even got noise-canceling headphones. I shake my head. Please? The look she gives me is one that always works. It's her puppy eyes with a pouting lip. I know it for what it is. I know she uses it to manipulate me. But it always works. Fine. How could I say no to you? I give a slight laugh, but it's drowned out by her happy squealing as she almost jumps up and down in her seat. Thank God I don't have to put up with her, Noah says, then he looks over at me. But don't worry, I'm sure you can handle her. I'm not sure anyone can. I try to focus on Noah after Emma leaves. But thoughts of living with a woman keep popping up in my head. How can I bring home women when she's there? How is this even going to work? But it's not like I can kick her out. Finding an apartment close to campus is virtually impossible. Maybe it won't be so bad.
Chapter 8. Emma. It's Friday, a couple of weeks before Christmas, when I move my things into Knightley's apartment. I crammed as much as I could into my car, and only had to make 2 trips. Of course, Noah was nowhere to be found when I asked for his help, so it's only me and Knightley lugging boxes up in the elevator. It hadn't really hit me until now that I'd be living in the same apartment as him. I was just so happy to not be homeless that I barely gave it a thought. But as he stands next to me in the elevator in his tight t-shirt, and his arm muscles bulge under the weight of one of my boxes, it feels very intimate. Seeing him in his own place also emphasizes how much he's grown up over the last few years. I'm not sure what I was expecting. Maybe some sort of dingy bachelor pad. His apartment is larger than the one I'm leaving. As soon as you enter, the clean and slightly boring living room is to the left. He's got a couch, a coffee table, and a TV. But there are no signs of life. No blanket tossed over the back of the couch, no magazines or books. The art on the wall might as well have been chosen by an interior designer. To the right of the entrance is a small dining area, and the kitchen is open to it. There are 3 bedrooms down a hallway, one of which has been converted to an office where he runs his business. I always knew he developed some software, and his mom was very proud of him. But seeing where he works, how organized he is eye-opening. He quickly shows me the master bedroom, furthest down the hallway, with an ensuite, and explains that he cleared out the other bathroom so I could have that to myself. The one that is right opposite my bedroom. His bedroom is decorated in muted, natural tones. Mostly grays and browns, with a big, comfortable-looking bed and glass doors that open to a balcony. My room is lighter and slightly more feminine. My mom sometimes stays here, he said when I stopped in the doorway the first time I saw it. She helped decorate. All I could do was nod. It was furnished with a dresser and an armchair. There was no desk, but I could easily fit one in if I wanted to. It even had a small closet, barely big enough to be called a walk-in. I put down one of the last boxes on the bed and opened it to study the contents. Somehow I'd grabbed the one box of kitchen stuff I had. It wasn't much, mostly some foods I had brought along. With a sigh, I take it back out to the front of the apartment and start unloading. I think that's it, Knightley says, and kicks the door shut after himself. He places the last box on the counter. Unless there's more at the apartment. I shake my head and open the pantry door with a box of quinoa in my hand. No, I think that was it. He peeks over into the open box. Why does everything look so healthy? He grimaces and I smile. Because most of it is. Where's your junk food? I reach in and grab a couple of bars of dark chocolate and hold them up for him. I can see how much he wants to roll his eyes. Dark chocolate doesn't count as junk food. Don't you have any vices? I shrug. You know I'll eat anything. Yes, but in annoying moderation. I can tell he's teasing me, so I don't bother answering. He looks over at the box he just brought in. Will I at least get to see you in sweats now? You've seen me in sweats before. I'm not sure I have. You're always so put together. I didn't even know you owned sweats. He grabs the pair that are on top, and before I can stop him, he picks them up. As he does, something goes flying across the floor. He bends down to pick it up. I spot the vibrant purple color and my head swims. I can feel the blood draining from my face. Squeezing my eyes shut, I hold my breath. Please, by all that's holy, let me have seen wrong. Let it be something else. Anything. His slight laughter dies, and I carefully peek at him. He's standing half turned away from me, looking down at the purple object in his hand. Confusion has taken over his face as he keeps staring at my vibrator. He doesn't move. A flush comes over me, and I take 3 quick steps to him so I can snatch it out of his hand. He looks up at me, and for a moment our eyes meet. Realization dawns on him and he inhales. I do the only thing I can think of and run to my room, leaving him there, still holding my sweats. I close the door behind me. Shit. Shit. I've not been here a day, and already I somehow made everything weird. My eyes burn as I glare at the vibrator in my hand. I toss it onto the bed and bury my head in my hands. And why did I run? That just made it worse. I should have stayed. I should have lied and told him it was a present. Or made some joke about it. I inhale. Why was that the time my brain stopped working? Except I know. It was seeing it in his hand. 2 parts of my life came crashing together, and I was not prepared for that. Is he going to tell Noah? Oh God. I groan and sink down until I'm sitting with my back against the door. What if he tells Noah? I'm never going to hear the end of it. The sound of the front door opening and closing wake me from my stupor. Did he leave? I take a few deep breaths and place the vibrator in the drawer of the nightstand. There is no time to be weirded out right now. Hannah and Edwin are coming over in a bit for the study group, and I still need to put some things away. I've just finished showering and changing when the doorbell rings. There is no sign of Knightley, so either I managed to scare him out of his own apartment, or he wasn't lying when he said he's hardly ever here. I brought study questions, Edwin says with a smile as I open the door. Great, come on in. I gesture to the living room, and he takes a look around. Nice place. Thanks. I'll get my stuff. I hurry to my bedroom and grab the book and my notes. My eyes keep flickering to the drawer of my nightstand, and I keep thinking of how large Knightley's hands had seemed. So, I was able to call in a few favors and get the questions from last year's finals. I think that might help. Edwin says as I get back to the living room. That's great. The doorbell rings again, and this time it's Hannah. Did you get moved in okay? She asks as she takes off her jacket. Yup, I say and sit cross-legged on the couch. Is Knightley here? I shake my head and try to push away the blush that creeps up. No, he went out. I grab the paper Edwin brought and read the first question, grateful to have something else to focus on. 2 hours later, my brain is mush. I'm never going to remember all of this, I say as I get up. Anyone want water? They both nod, so I stretch my back and head over to the kitchen. Part of it is hidden from the living room, and I take my time getting myself a drink. I've had more than enough chemistry for one day. When I can't stall anymore, I head back to the others. I think you're so smart, Edwin says. You could probably pass the exam without studying. Hannah is super smart, I say as I sit back down. I can't even imagine studying something like marine biology. I think that probably takes a lot of brain power. So does nutrition, Edwin says quickly. I mean, you're taking the same course as us. I smile as he diverts my attempts to get them talking about their common interest. I should get going, Hannah says and starts gathering her things. Yeah, I think my brain can't handle any more tonight, I agree. I suppose. Edwin slowly puts his stuff away. It's pretty late, I say. Edwin, would you mind walking Hannah to the bus stop? I'd feel better if she wasn't alone. No problem. That's really not necessary. They're both putting on their jackets now. I turn to Hannah. Oh, I almost forgot, I say and hit my head with the heel of my hand. I've been so busy with moving and everything. I meant to ask you if you wanted to help with the talent show. We have a meeting tomorrow, and really need to start getting some things done. It's raising money for eating disorders, right? Hannah asks as she lifts her hair from under her scarf. Yes, we meet twice a week. Yeah, I can help with that. Great. I smile. You know my dad is close to the dean, Edwin says, and I raise an eyebrow at him. I could help too, and I might be able to pull some strings if you need anything. I hide my smile at the thought of Edwin wanting to help, so he can be close to Hannah. Great. Oh, my cousin is coming to visit after Christmas, Hannah says. And if you're still looking for performers, I'm sure she would want to help. It's something to think about, I say and hold the door open for them. See you tomorrow then, for your first official meeting. I'll text you the details. They both head to the elevator, and I close the door. I look around at my new home. Aside from Knightley holding my vibrator in his hand, not a bad first day. I head back to my room. I need to stop thinking of Knightley's fingers near anything that has been inside me.